Monday 9th. So quick market update. So from the bear flag we had, just taking this line, that was for me the limit that we had to close above. Anyway, we are breaking down from the bear flag. We are bouncing, we have a buying week now on the daily on this monthly support, but uh, we are not oversold on the daily yet, so we can come down in this range and let's see if we have another bounce. But anyway, let's start from the beginning. Okay, so everything according to plan. Breaking down the bear flag. And now on the monthly, in terms of moving averages, the next level is on the 21. Of course, here on the last stop on 99.8. We have this moving average around here on the 18. And of course, we have these low levels, but we should have a big bounce from these areas if we reach there. And then we maybe have another bearish retest and come to the 100 or to these levels, but this can take until next year. We are on the 50 on the RSI on the monthly, and I think this year we will go for the first time to the 30s, like Alibaba did and other some other stocks, big ones. So this will be a great year for investment, or this year or the next year, both. So just try to decide and do your risk management. If we have bounces on the monthly, remember we need buying volume, like on this candle, like on these candles, buying volume. Now we don't have any volume, so this is just no buying pressure at all. So just be patient. This is a patience game, and this year and next year will be great. So be prepared for all scenarios, and can be always, price can always go lower than what you think. Remember that. Okay, so weekly broken, closed lower low, broken 100 moving average. We can have maybe some short squeezes, and this will be big resistance, and the 21 moving average also big resistance. The bear flag trend line also resistance, and then next levels we have the monthly here, and the moving average is the 200 exponential, 200 simple on the 22, 200 exponential on 27, the monthly supports here, and the 377 exponential on the 18K. Okay, so let's see, we need to see where we stop on the weekly, and then let's see if there's some buying weeks, buying supports, buying candles, hammers, or buying wicks, and you can use your risk management. Remember, we are still quite far from the 30s or below, where we normally bounce for investment as well. So just be prepared for all scenarios on the during these months or on next months. Even if we have bounces, remember we are looking for lower highs, and then we can have another retracement. But great times for swing trades and trades. Big volatility ahead. Okay, so no need to go for the short term. Of course, I can put the 15 minutes because we are on a monthly support, bouncing exactly from a monthly support. This is a buying area, stop loss below. We can use this to see if we can go to here, here, or here, and can use this with a stop loss below and try to make some bids if you see some buying wicks here on the moving average. So 9 minutes to go. Let's see if we close above and we have strength to hold this area here and try to have a bounce until these areas, because we are in a monthly support and we were oversold on the 15 minutes, 1 hour, we are finding rejection here on the 12, and we still have the 21 that has been pushing the price down. So we need buying pressure to close above, do a higher low, and keep on trying to see if we go higher until this area here above. Let's see if this holds or not. But this is a monthly support here. Okay, but on the weekly, lower low, so we are just looking for a bounce. Can be here, 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 and then back down eventually, probabilistically. Okay, so Bitcoin done. All the rest you just look, just bleed, 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 bleed. So like the market cycle, it's coming, bear market, and yeah, so great opportunities ahead. Okay, so back to the monthly, and now Dow Jones still managed to close above the 21, but rejection from the trend line. Let's see if we range here for one more week, so a few weeks, or if this keeps on coming down, because we are still on the 9th of May, and we keep coming down to lower areas. Let's see what we do. So XLV still a support here, but we are rejecting, so we should come down. Nasdaq very weak, bearish engulfing, resistance here on this line, and now pointing down to these areas. All this area will be resistance. We broke down from the trend lines, so very precise. Nasdaq on the trend lines, long-term trend lines that come from these areas, and bearish retest coming down, and now the 200s are here, 100 and the 50. Let's see where we stop for a bounce. But we have been in a bull market, so we can do a double bottom here if we have a financial crisis, or we can even come lower to this top here, but I think this should hold, or even here. Let's see what we do. We were extremely overbought like before, and now coming down, and we should have support here on the 40s on the RSI, or even lower on the 30s. So just be patient. IWM, Russell 2000, coming for the 50. This is the channel that we created with the 200 also on the COVID crash. And let's see if this area here, it will be a good area. Of course we can bounce like this. Let's see, pointing down, S&P 500, closed weekly, but we have some support here. We still closed above the 21, rejecting the 12. So let's see if we have another bounce here, or if we close the week, we start coming down. We are bouncing exactly from the trend line, and the 100 we still didn't touch it, so we can still range here, and maybe we can have a bounce. Let's see what we do, but we are not oversold. On the weekly, the 200s are here, 377, also another area, and we have this trend line here as well. So remember, we don't come straight down, takes a few weeks or a few months, but remember, we need to go oversold to have a bounce on the S&P 500. Back to the monthly, the same thing. We have the 100 here with this trend line. Can have another bounce here. Let's see if this support holds for a few days. Let's see. Okay, the wicks. Buying week on the 21, already above this area, so the big resistance here, but we should push higher. very precise weekly uptrend, new trend line bounced, and now we are bouncing this one here, and we should range here to have a bounce and pass this trend, this resistance eventually. So we are in this range now that we can take a while, and let's see if we can keep on pushing. Big buying week, we can just range a little bit. We might have a bounce these next days and then back up. Dollar strong, so everyone's selling stocks. We are going here. Next level will be here, and next one, and then we should find resistance, come down, and then let's see. If we close above here, we can go higher. The top should be here on the 82, so we are pushing higher. Trend line also very precise, bounced, 21 moving average, bounced, and now targets are here and closes above, we can go higher. And now some stocks. Apple, that holds the S&P 500. Selling week, we are still on support. We didn't pass this trend line, and now we have a selling week. Let's see if we hold the 12 here or the 21 and range. Next level will be here or the moving averages. So let's see what Apple does. Already some bad news coming on the news, so they can push the price down. Facebook trying to hold 100. We have also this trend line, but let's see if we hold this area to come to here and we have a bounce these next days or this week. But we are not oversold on the monthly, so it's a matter of patience. If we close down here, we can come to lower lows around here. This will act as a resistance if we close below on the monthly basis. So let's see, we have still 3 weeks to see if we hold this area and we have a bounce. Just doing the monthly for now. Nasdaq, no, Amazon, sorry, bearish engulfing. Now support here, or we have the 200s here. This will be a good area, and then let's see if we have a big bounce and go to higher highs, or we don't pass. If we close below this trend line and we don't pass, we can come even lower. So Amazon, we are going back to the channel that actually we just made it here. So this should be a good area of value with Amazon, and we are coming down to test the 30s eventually. Netflix on the 200, we are pointing down to the other 200 simple, and we still have this big channel here that if we come here and we don't pass, we can come here and then range for a while, like something like this, until we get. Remember to just be patient, see buying volume for now, just bare volume. We are already oversold, so we can have a bounce from this area, and then let's see how big is the bounce if we go to 21 or just to this trend line that was made here. So good year for investment, just be patient because we can go lower. Tesla still strong, but already rejecting this area, and we should come down here, maybe have a bounce, and then let's see if we have enough strength or we start coming to the other areas like here, here, to this one here on the monthly support. We can put another line. This should be a good area if we have if we start a big volatility. Also the top was quite precise, with the trend line. So technical analysis works quite good, and it's actually quite precise. So as you can see, and now let's see how low can we go. We have the 100, the 200 still didn't appear. I feel that as when it appears sometime in the future, we will go there, and this can take a while. ARC already on 45. Also very precise. We closed below here. Now we should come to this range to see if we have a bounce. This will be big resistance, this trend line now, this area. So we can just have a couple of days bounce, but then we should come to this area, and if we close below all this range, we can come to the 22s. So let's see if this range holds, or if we come to this range to have maybe the base from this area. BABA on the 90s. We got this big wick, so let's see if this range holds, or if this range holds. This will be big. We are already rejecting from the trend line, so like here, it's quite precise, and now we are already below this one. Let's see if we create a base here. We are almost oversold, still on the 31s more or less, or 32s. We can come to the 30s, and then this is already a good investment area for BABA. And I already start scaling in from this area. I already bid here as well, and now I have more bids below here. If we go below, I buy more. Palantir pointing down, selling weak. We lost this trend line, so this will be big resistance. And let's see where we stop. We need to see buying pressure. There's no more info data from the start of this stock, so we only have this data here. So it's very hard for technical analysis, even for the RSI. So it's a tricky one with Palantir now. Just we need buying candles and volume coming. 10 cents should be here. We should come test here, bounce. Eventually we'll go to this area, this trend line here. There's a wick there that it can come a little bit below, so we can create a secondary one, this one, and do something like this, but probability it will be hard. I think this should hold, but let's see. Okay, so Fiverr. We will touch a support to see if we have a bounce from this area here, maybe to the 21. So let's see what the stock market does. If we close below on the monthly or on the weekly, we can come to the back to this range here. So also quite precise. Just rearrange, I think it's here. Yeah, it's here. If we close the month below, it's very bad. If we manage to bounce from here, it will be a good swing trade or trade. Pinterest, the same, kind of the same bounce, but already selling weeks. So we have this range here, already a buying week. Let's see if we hold here to bounce to here when we hold this area, or after we can come down to this base here. After a bounce, I see these areas as well from Pinterest. Let's see. And now a little bit NIO, electric vehicles. So let's see if we do a double bottom here. If we close below, we can have all these ranges here. So be prepared, this will be a good range around this area. And maybe wait for the oversold on the monthly. But we are already bouncing here. So let's see if this holds for a bounce until here. And reassess. Last case, we have this area here. And this one here. Okay, so Tilray, a bit of cannabis. So let's see if we range here and manage to pass now this trend line and come to here. If we don't hold this support, we might come to test the base and will be a good investment opportunity. But just maybe you can wait for buying pressure like this, green candles and buying pressure, and then try to get a higher low. So just remember, try to see some green. For now everything is red. CGC, bounced but already facing some rejections. Let's see if we create a base on this area here that we still didn't touch, so we can come here. Let's see if this holds here. If we have a monthly close or a few weekly closes below, we can come to the next range, which will be here and here. And let's see. It will have a bounce sometime in the future. Remember, it's the cycle turning. It's a great industry to invest, so big opportunities will come. I don't show more. Compass on psychedelics going low, so we already on the monthly oversold. So let's see if we create a base, because there's no more data from this stock, so it can go lower and we don't know until where it can go. So let's wait for some consolidation or green candles on the monthly. But MNMD, Mind Medicine on psychedelics, there's a few bounces already on the sectors, and let's see if this holds. Big resistance here. Next area will be this one here. Of course we can also bounce here, but this should be a good range. But I don't know if we manage to get there. At least I think this area should hold. Last case, this one. It's already bouncing because we are oversold on the weekly, but on the monthly we still can come lower. So, and we had a very bad candle, so any bounces we should just go for lower highs, and this range here should be a good one. Okay, so Expedia, travel, we are on the 50, we can have a bounce, then we have the 100 here, and then we have the 200 here. That just appeared, so algorithms should go there sometime in the future. Maybe it will align with the channel we are in. So this area should be good if we, and we should have a bounce from the same areas always on the 28 here on Expedia. So algorithms working good. We can have bounces, but should be around here. And what more? Oil. So I think we found the top already. We just take. We may created the trend line. We can come here from here, but I don't know if we will pass this. And then remember, when we go up, oil normally goes back to the base. Should be here, but of course we can still go a bit higher. If we don't pass here, we can come here, back higher, be in this range, and then maybe back here to the 40s, 50s, when everything, but we can still go higher. So let's see, if we close above here, we can go higher, because natural gas quite strong. We already selling weak, so let's see if we still go to these tops here, but the big resistance is here, and we are finding some selling pressure, and then support will be on this trend line. It was, I'll make it, I don't know how is this done, but should be here, because, and we are, I think we might already have had a bounce from it. I don't know if we touch, but we can come down sooner or later to this range here. Big volatility like in the past. Let's see if we touch it. No, we didn't touch. Actually we touched here with this candle, so that's why. That was the test for the big run, and then the 21 pushing it higher. So the 21, as you see, it's a buying area, bullish engulfing and higher low and big move up. So technical analysis very precise. And yeah, uranium, okay, doing some lower highs. So finding finally some resistance. Let's see if the 21 holds to push higher again. If we close below, we have the 100 that we already test as support here. And we have this trend line that we can put 1 point, 2 points, and we should bounce here. And if we find, but if we don't pass this area and we keep doing lower highs, we can come to this range and then back to this support. So it's a patience game. People who bought it here made a very good investment trade. And now let's see some consolidation to see if we push higher. This big support will be here. But the 21, let's see if it holds. So we can push higher, but we are already starting on the monthly lower highs, so we can consolidate after this big move up. And okay, copper, silver may be going down, copper already. Let's see if we hold the 21 to push higher, and then this will be big resistance around this area here. All this area. And then this is the big support for copper because of the big volatility that we have on copper, so we can bounce, but then back to the trend line. This is the area for big swing trades and investments. Investment might even be lower, but for swing trades and maybe investment, oversold or a little bit higher, this should be a good area for a bounce. So we are doing kind of this pattern, and then we can come down. Lumber finally coming down. I'll take the log scale now. Okay, so we can have a bounce from this area. Home builders, so coming down finally. Support here, support, support, and we have the big trend line that could be this area. So we can be doing something like this, some bounces, and eventually starting to come down. Bonds pushing higher big time, but we might still go there, trying to close above this big resistance on the trend line. We are already above the 200, so we should maybe push until there. Let's see. We are already overbought. Big move up, then we should have some consolidation. And yeah, so okay, that's it. No need to check more. Everything depends on Bitcoin and the stock market. Remember buying volume. Let's see Bitcoin now. Also, the future is already red on the S&P futures. So gold also coming down. Let's see gold a little bit. So remember, gold for investment will be on this range here. It's too much hype. Of course, we can bounce here and push higher, But remember, this moves very slow, so it's good for keeping your money safe. If you buy here on the 21 with stop loss, last case, we will come to this area and then maybe keep going up. Can even come to this, and if we take out all the trend lines, we can do a lower low in the future, but we can keep on doing higher lows here on the 200. So let's see if the 21 push holds and we push higher and we do higher lows, but we have a double top here. We need to close above the double top for now. Very precise, this double top. And we were oversold, so if you're an investor, you wait for this range. It's a matter of patience, so should be here on the RSI on these areas here, which will align with these areas. Too much hype on the gold sector, but let's see, because we can hold and pass. If the 21 holds on the monthly, we can have a bounce again. So we should come down. Yeah, we are rejecting the 12 here. So let's see if we do a double bottom and we bounce, or do a higher low on this range here to have a bounce. Otherwise, we will keep on coming down. No buying pressure. Just, of course, many short squeezes will happen, and we will just go to do some bearish retests. So just be patient and have a good one. Lower low on the weekly.